you doing, good people? This is Dave Bit Animal, and this video is for one important purpose: to talk about the latest entry into what I consider the second really important genre of video game. The first genre of video game, as we all know, was the sports game, because Pong and people consider, different handball, tennis, whatever. But Pong was pretty much the first sports game, and it was the first widely commercially accepted video game. Well, one of the next major genres of video game was the space shoot 'em up. You had games like Vanguard and Space Invaders and Galaxian, Bosconian, which is still one of my personal favorites, Xevious. Later on, the introduction of the bullet hell shooter with Batsugun, Giga Wing, Dodonpachi. It's like so many different games in that genre, but it's one of the first genres of video game, and it's probably one of the most important genres of video game over the years. Well, anybody who reads the blog, listens to me talk about video games and the assorted videos I posted on here, and have talked to me personally, know that I'm a big fan of the shoot 'em up genre. And more importantly, I'm a huge fan of bullet hell shooters. That's the newer trend in the shoot 'em up genre, where basically they're all just large amounts of bullets. You have to dance and bob and weave through them. Well, I'm also a fan of developers and what those developers do. And one of my favorite developers at the moment is Grasshopper Manufacture. Now, Grasshopper Manufacture is known for their action games like No More Heroes, the upcoming Lollipop Chainsaw, Shadows of the Damned, games like that. Well, they recently struck up a deal with the Hungarian developer Digital Reality to co-produce a bullet hell shooter. It's a side-scrolling shooter. You would think that Grasshopper would have handled most of the gameplay, being that bullet hell shooters are basically the last great bastion for Japanese developers, but they didn't. Grasshopper handled the art direction in this game. Digital Reality handled pretty much. They handled the gameplay engine, the 3D modeling, things like that. The game I'm speaking of is Sine Mora. Now, Sine Mora it's a magical game. I'm just going to put that out there. If you're a fan of the shoot 'em up genre, you should go on ahead and pay the 1,200 Microsoft points, or I'm thinking $1,500 on PSN, and you should get it, and you should try it out, and you will probably love it. What Sine Mora does is, first of all, it's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. You don't see a lot of really well put together side-scrolling shmups anymore, not in America. It's also a steampunk. It has like that steampunk sensibility to it. Everything is kind of steam powered. There are a lot of exposed gears, things like that. It kind of actually reminds me of the old Genesis shmup, Steel Empire, and it also reminds me of Pro Gear, one of the last really important shmups that Capcom put out in they published in early 2000. Sine Mora, it's the typical somebody took over this country. It's up to this resistance team, the resistance, to take the country back, that type of thing. What's cool about this game is the the importance that time plays in it. Instead of a health meter or a number of lives, you have a timer. When you kill enemies, you get more time. You get hit by projectiles, you lose time. You also lose your power-ups, but they bounce around on screen for a moment. You have a chance to catch up with them. You also, if you get hit too much, you run out of time, or if the timer just ticks out without you killing enough enemies, then you're dead, and you have to expend a continued credit. In addition, there's a time stop mechanic in the game. It's really well done because there's a meter. You have to fill it up. Once it's gone, you don't have any more unless you fill it up. It's actually a pretty handy mechanic. It doesn't feel gimmicky. It actually reminds me a lot of, you could say, the first Max Payne game, where a lot of the gameplay kind of focused around bullet time, or slow down mechanic, or well, not really more recently, a few years later, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Sine Mora features some beautiful artwork, and that's where Grasshopper's hands dug into the game. There's incredible lighting effects. For a downloadable title, this game is gorgeous. The enemies, everything about it is just beautiful. Digital Reality, they made a masterful shoot 'em up. And if you're a fan, like I said, if you're a fan of the genre, if you get a thrill out of bobbing and weaving through vast amounts of bullets, exploiting the size of your hitbox to avoid enemy fire, that type of thing, I would definitely give Sine Mora a shot. It's an excellent game and an excellent introduction to an excellent addition to, for my money, probably the second most venerable genre in video games. This is the 8-Bit Animal, and do I look suspicious to you?